Any sign of Sidron?
Not that I can see.
High alert, everyone. The enemy could be anywhere. Follow my lead.
Let's make this a short mission, all right?
That's the plan.
What's your call to come down here? Still not sure I agree. I respect the chain of command. Phasers should make quick work of the ice. Is this another Takan vault?
I don't see a way in.
Vault in the mines was already open.
There must be some way to activate it.
Portal, can you open it? It is a Taconian vault.
I thought you'd never ask. You're welcome. Better to keep it simple.
Thank you. Definitely easier this way. Spread out. Let's see what we can find. And stay on high alert. We don't know where the Takan that beamed down here could be.
You will need my help, Commander.
How so?
Traversal here is trivial for a Takan, but only a Takan. When you come across a device you cannot use, merely call my name.
Will do. Thank you. This pattern resembles the transporter device Petty Officer Maris used to escape the Resolute. Portal 6-3?
You wish to make use of this device?
It's a transporter of some kind?
It allows Takan to move through space instantly a short distance. Very convenient. I will activate the system for you.
Where does it go?
I'm not sure. The markings here must be from after my time.
Well, only one way to find out. soil. Just soil. It's not from this planet, nor any planet in the Federation database. Why is this here?
This is soil from the homeworld. Our capital system. This isn't an arsenal. It's a temple of the ancients. Sacred ground to the Takon. I took my oath as a guardian of the Empire in a place just like this. You cannot imagine the look of pride in my parents' eyes as they said goodbye. Forever. Sorry. This is the first I've seen of anything new from the Takon Empire in a very long time. I'm sure you're familiar with the feeling. That sense of loss. I thought I was ready for it. But it cuts to the core of your being.
I totally understand that feeling. It's unavoidable and inescapable no matter what you do.
Yes, it's that distant but familiar feeling that's forever just out of reach.
Can you use this to find out more about what Galvin is after?
The information's encrypted. I can only discern that it's a warship. No. It's the Aphelion. Perhaps the most powerful Takonian ship ever built. I can't access the full file, but looking through the ship's schematics, it appears to be equipped with some sort of experimental, highly advanced transporter technology.
Transporter technology? For what?
Captain, you better come see this. There are more up ahead.
From the looks of it, I'd say someone left in a hurry.
Probably right around the time we showed up.
I've seen these before. In the other vault. And if all of those are the same as this, then there must be...
Hundreds of millions, if not billions. All that remains of the Takon civilization. A distinct person, encapsulated in crystalline form. Preserved for all eternity.
You thought this was an arsenal. And in a way, you're right. This is how they rebuild the Takon Empire, and bioform billions of innocent people.
That seems to be the case. What you have to understand is, these life forms were preserved for the benefit of the Takon civilization, as a means of safeguarding the health and well-being of any Takon, should they fall prey to illness or injury. They were never intended to be used for this purpose.
There you are wrong. This was always their purpose, to restore the glory that was lost. Congratulations on your first victory in battle, Captain Rydek. You killed a great many of my compatriots, some that I've known for millennia. Are you proud of how much death you've caused? Each Takan life is precious, irreplaceable. Centuries of knowledge and culture, lost with each one you murder.
I was protecting my crew. It's regrettable to take any life. But when someone threatens galactic civilization, force is the correct response.
And I suppose it worked. For now. Thankfully, I don't have to convince you of anything. We'll all be on the same side soon enough.
You can't just bioform whoever you want. Not without a fight.
Ah, but that's just it. There won't be a fight. In fact, most won't even know what's happened. One minute you're standing there as you. The next, you're standing here as one of us.
He's talking about mass transformation. That's what the Aphelion was built for.
The transporter. It'll reconstitute your DNA and bioform you into a Takan in the blink of an eye. This is what they'll use as ammunition.
In a manner of speaking, yes. Of course, that's the simple version. But the end result will be the same.
Your time has passed. The Takan Empire is gone.
Only to be reborn better and stronger than it ever was. The Aphelion is on its way here as we speak. Now it's only a matter of time. You can't delay that which is inevitable. Which makes your next decision fairly simple, brother. You are, after all, a portal.
I am.
Your sole purpose is to serve as a guardian of the Takan Empire. But you stand here surrounded not by your fellow Takan, but by members of the Federation. By people who deny our fundamental right to exist. You swore an oath to protect the Empire. And I can only assume that's why you're here.
There is only one true Takan here, and that's Portal. You're a scion, a disgrace to the memory of the Takan, brought back through unnatural means.
I only tolerate your presence so long as you continue to amuse me. Which side are you on?
Captain Rydek, long-range sensors suggest a massive spacecraft approaching in the distance.
The time has come. I hope we speak again, brother.
Estimated time to contact, 6 minutes and counting.
We can't stay here. We have to get back to the ship.
And we have to preserve these souls. We must take them back to your ship.
Those crystals are ammunition to be used against us. We have to destroy them. Bombard the site from orbit.
I'll decide, once we're safely aboard the Resolute. For to transport.
You have to hear me out, Captain. I lost my eyes because of you. I committed mutiny for you. But if you bring those things on board, I'll have no choice but to resign.
If they're taken to the Aphelion, they will be forced into new bodies, brought back to life in a way they never asked for.
They're not living beings, but they're still dangerous. And if you don't make decisions to protect us, we're gonna end up like Solano. You, me, the entire crew. We're all next.
2 minutes and counting. It's headed straight toward the vault. The Aphelion is coming into view now, Captain.
On screen.
Unbelievable.
Arrival at the second vault in less than a minute.
I would remind you, those life forms are Takon, not science. Takon. They're not your enemy.
Right or wrong, history will judge you for this moment.
Destroy the vault.
Aye, Captain. Firing photon torpedoes.
Target has been destroyed.
I am alone. Again. As I was.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, are you? Meaningless. Words do not unwind the clock.
Captain, the Aphelion is targeting us. Approaching rapidly.
They hit us with that bioforming ray, and it's over. Maximum warp. Get us out of here.
Where, Captain?
Anywhere but here. Now!
There they are!
You did what had to be done with the Tasker. I know you held out hope, but it's what she would have wanted. The Tasker can rest now. Even if I wavered in the moment.
I'm sorry you lost your friend.
In her final moments, I'm sure she counted you as a friend as well.
Oh, no surprises here. But your shoulder's separated. If you come with me to sickbay, we can get you fixed up in no time.
Thank you. I'll find you afterwards.
You two, check in at your stations. This thing isn't over yet.
I can't believe it, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing Chovak. Not that I'd expect this kind of welcome from him, but I can just imagine the look on his face.
Oh, come on, he's got to give us some credit for all we've done.
We'll see. Then again, if he doesn't, that's just Chovak being Chovak.
I can't believe it! You evaded the Takon, ejected their warp cores,
and lived to talk about it.
That about sums it up.
They're gonna be teaching this at the Academy for years to come. I mean it. Everybody's gonna learn how you pulled it off.
The Academy? Oh, well, I wouldn't know about that.
After this, you'll probably get a personal invitation to show them how it's done. I heard about Belle. Is Miranda?
As far as we know, she's still out there.
Well, I know Captain Rydek will do her best to get her back.
Hold on. Rydek? What about Captain Solano?
He was turned into a Takan. Rydek had to take over. She's a hell of an officer, but none of us have been up against anything like this. No one has. Not in 500,000 years.
We'll just have to step up and work that much harder to help Captain Rydek.
It's gonna take all of us.
Talk to you later.
It is agreeable to see you again.
Is that so?
It was by no means a certainty that you would return to duty here.
It's great to be seen, boss. There were a few moments out there off the ship where I wasn't really sure we'd be making it back either. Everything here in engineering's kind of a sight for sore eyes.
Indeed. You should know your absences left engineering terribly short-handed. During your sojourn, this department has fallen unacceptably behind schedule on both regular and irregular duties.
There's been a whole lot of irregularity going around.
I gotta admit, it's a little flattering that this place went to hell so fast without me. So, I'll take that as a compliment.
I believe factors other than your absence were also to blame. Normally, I would assign you to one of the many pressing repair tasks. But, given your experience on board the Zeldi, I have suggested you join the senior staff briefing as we determine our next course of action. You can commence your maintenance shift afterwards.
When I heard you destroyed the Takan vault, I was surprised.
By my order?
By myself? Surprised that I was glad to hear it. The Hotari do not wage war or kill our enemies if we can avoid it. But hearing that the Takan, who have decimated my people, took such a loss... Is it wrong that it feels like justice? We've lost so much to the Takan.
I regret it now.
You do?
It's just so many lives lost.
They take lives to come back.
I know. I know.
It's coming along nicely. Thank you, Tylus. I'll take it from here. We're almost done.
I have to brief Ambassador Spock in a few minutes.
Ambassador Spock can wait. You have some fences to mend. I know you had your reasons for destroying the Draconian crystals, and I won't question them. Hopefully this galvanizes the bridge crew behind your leadership. But I expect there will be fallout with Portal. Assuming he's still with us. I sincerely doubt he's indifferent to what happened.
He's not happy about it, but once I explain my reasoning, I think he'll understand.
As long as you're prepared either way, that's all I can ask. It's been a chaotic last few days for everyone. You need to name a new first officer in preparation for what's coming. It basically comes down to Westbrook, Fmod, or Bedrosian. Obviously, there are pros and cons with each. But ultimately, the decision is yours. Commander Westbrook has seniority and was hoping to be Captain Solano's first officer. Lieutenant Bedrosian has always been devoted to you. And Fmod has the knowledge and experience that makes him more than qualified. You really couldn't go wrong with any of them.
At the moment, I am leaning toward selecting Commander Westbrook as the new first officer.
That would be an excellent choice, considering your history. The crew would respect the fact you chose someone likely to challenge your opinions and present a different point of view. You're as good as new.
Thank you, Dr. Duvall.
Always nice to have a captive audience. You really shouldn't keep Ambassador Spock waiting.
We'll have Ambassador Spock via subspace shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Fmod.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar have first-hand experience with our adversaries. I thought it advantageous for them to join this briefing. I understand this is unusual, but I trust you have no objections?
Talk about moving up in the world.
I'll allow it, Mr. Chovak.
In all seriousness, what Diaz and Edsalar accomplished aboard the Zeldi is nothing short of remarkable. They're both to be commended, not only for surviving against incredible odds, but for helping our efforts against these scions.
You know, Carter deserves most of the credit. None of us would have made it without his help. We'd all be bioformed by this point.
Well, I could say the same thing about Edsalar here. She deserves as much of the credit as I do.
It's like a mutual admiration society.
Ambassador Spock is ready for you.
Put him through.
Captain Reindeck, your recent change in station certainly warrants mention, and I trust you to faithfully execute your expanded duties. Right now, we must keep our attention on the clear and present danger that lies ahead, the Takan and their warship. The closest populations are the Hotari and Elydian systems, and they are likely the first targets for mass bioforming. After that, lies Federation space. I have advised Starfleet Command to send an impromptu battle group to intercept and assist you, but that will take time. You are our first line of defense. And with our shield algorithms compromised, we are at a great disadvantage.
We can take them on ourselves. We've already had some success against the Takan. We destroyed one of their modified Elydian ships, the Zeldi, in combat.
That was not a true Takan warship, was it?
No.
Remember, our strength is drawn from our ability to work together towards a common goal.
Have we made any progress in finding a way to defend ourselves from the Aphilion's bioforming weapon?
Currently, our shields will not protect us, but I am compiling all of the information the away team gathered on the Zeldi and cross-referencing it against our own as well as Portal 6-3's methods.
The away team is sitting right here. They survived without getting bioformed, so we know it's possible. So, what's the secret? How do we defend ourselves? Is there a weakness we can exploit? Something we can do to avoid getting bioformed?
I wish I could tell you the solution. But the truth is, there is no easy answer. There's no defense against bioforming. One-on-one or on a mass scale. At least, not that I know of.
We may not be able to stop it, but it might be possible to slow it down. It's too soon to say for sure, but we've had some promising indications that Duridium can delay the bioforming process.
Duridium?
It's not a cure. It's not going to bring anyone back we've already lost. But Duridium is a cell stabilizer, so it has the potential to slow down the onset of physical and mental changes, if not entirely prevent them. And we might be the only ship in the fleet with this much Duridium on hand. In fact, a lot of ships wouldn't have any.
You say that it slows the process, but this doesn't actually stop the Takan from taking over, does it?
Correct. I can't be 100% certain, but it appears this is only a short-term solution. Also, it requires a much larger dose to be effective. We don't have enough Duridium on board to protect the whole crew. We barely have enough to protect everyone in this room.
Sounds like it won't do us much good then.
The use case I'd suggest is that it could buy a little time for an officer or a small group to complete a task or mission. But it has to be taken at the moment of exposure to the bioforming mechanism.
Prepare a delivery method for this remedy.
That raises the question, what is the mission?
The Zeldi's shields were stronger than anticipated. If the Aphelion has even more effective protection, we'll have difficulty breaking through.
We may not be able to block the Aphelions' attack either. But if they do strike, We know their weapon uses transporter technology. We might be able to backtrack their signal path.
Like we did to evacuate Captain Rydek from Tau.
Exactly. We could send an away team onto the Aphelion.
And destroy it from the inside. Modify photon torpedoes to use as explosives.
I think Portal could still help us. If he can't get a first-hand look at the Aphelion, he might be able to identify a weakness.
I don't know how quick he'll be to help us after...
He'll help.
I'll have security personnel prep a boarding party, should the opportunity arise.
Petty Officers Edsalar and Diaz are the logical choices to lead any away mission to the Aphelion. They have already crippled one enemy ship. If anyone can do so again, it is them.
This isn't a rescue. It's a tactical incursion. Do you really have some special insights as Commander Chovak suggests?
Doesn't the fact that we're here speak for itself?
Just surviving won't be enough this time.
Sabotage is kind of becoming our specialty. We'll find a way to get the job done.
Well, he certainly has the swagger for it.
If this is the necessary course of action, I support it.
With the help of Portal. He should be part of the away team.
I will compile all the latest data on the tricorders, just in case.
In the meantime, I want you working on ways we can combat the Takan tech. Shields, weapons, anything we can use.
Yes, Captain.
Anything else, Ambassador?
I know this matter is in capable hands. Hold the line as best you can. Help is on the way.
Thank you. I have faith in all of you to meet this moment with the urgency it requires. I expect all of us to give it everything we've got. Thank you, Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar. You're dismissed.
While we have a quorum of senior staff, there is a procedural element we need to take care of. The Resolute command codes must be transferred to Captain Rydek for control of the ship.
Of course.
Computer, transfer all command codes to Captain Jara Rydek. Voice authorization Ermot, Echo 4 Lima.
Voice authorization Duval. Beta 2 Yankee.
Voice authorization Westbrook. Alpha 7 Tango.
Awaiting your authorization, Captain.
Voice authorization, Rydek. Alpha 7. Whiskey.
Captain's codes transferred. The updated command structure is incomplete. Please designate a new first officer.
Who is the new first officer?
Please designate a new first officer.
It is my honor to name Lieutenant Bedrosian as the new first officer of the USS Resolute.
Wow.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
I don't even know what to say. Thank you.
Computer, Lieutenant Bedrosian is the new first officer of the USS Resolute.
Awaiting voice authorization.
Voice authorization Bedrosian, Gamma 5-9.
Authorization is now complete.
Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
Nicely done. I think that went well.
Captain Rydek!
Excuse me for a minute.
This is just unbelievable, unacceptable, inexplicable! To be the most senior officer on the bridge, and to be passed over again? I couldn't believe you went to Lieutenant Bedrosian with the information about Captain Solano being compromised instead of me. But this... I've never felt more humiliated.
I know how you must feel given your seniority and history aboard this ship. You have every right to be angry. But I had to factor what would best serve our interests at this particular point in time. Which is why I chose Lieutenant Bedrosian.
And that is the greatest insult of all. One of the most junior officers on the bridge. Bedrosian doesn't have the experience to be an effective first officer. It'll never work. You might as well have chosen Handar. It doesn't make any sense. Bedrosian, of all people.
You're obviously entitled to your opinion, but you couldn't be more wrong. Lieutenant Bedrosian is one of the most competent officers I've ever met, and she'll make an excellent first officer.
I'll be requesting a transfer off this ship at the first opportunity. Ridiculous.